Well, hello there, and welcome to day 13 of A Film a Day with me, Jordan Woodley. Disclaimer. So, this one is going to get very political. In one of those situations where I've always, when it comes to stuff I do in the public, followed the dinner party rule of, avoid politics, religion and philosophy, but to discuss this film, it's going to delve deep into social commentary and gender, sexuality, and race. So brace yourself. Now is the time. You're at the door. You may leave if you wish. So today I watched Widows, a 2018 film. I remember when this came out, and it was the year, primarily because it was the year that Ocean's 8 also came out, and that is going to be a pivotal part of what I discuss today. So, and I specifically remember the issue that I had, which was I had a choice in my mind when I saw Ocean's 8 going, oh yes, I must see Ocean's 8, because I love the Ocean's films, and I thought, oh, this is a really interesting take. It's a revitalization. Hadn't seen a heist film for a good long time, and I was like, this is an ideal reintroduction to the genre. And then later that year, Widows came out, and I was like, for one reason and another, I just didn't get round to seeing it. And those decisions, God, I wish I had flipped them. So the film follows Viola Davis, who heads a group of women who all, their husbands were killed, their husbands being a team of thieves who, during a job, were all killed in an explosion. But because of the person they stole from threatening Viola Davis, they need to do a job that their husbands have had previously arranged, and essentially carry that out. And it's a really good film. It is, honestly, for a 2-hour, quite deep, serious sit, an excellent film. But I'm not going to talk much about the film itself because there's a lot to cover, and I'm going to try and keep this contained time-wise, but there's quite a bit I wanted to discuss. The first thing I noted as well is this is a real showcase for sort of the transition of talent. It really feels like a point at which people will look at the cast of this film and go, oh, you know what, some really prominent, powerful actors came out of a film like this. It's led by Viola Davis and also stars Michelle Gomez, who are established actors, both of whom people know well. But Michelle Rodriguez, not Michelle Gomez, wrong Michelle, but Michelle Rodriguez, both of whom are established actors, both of whom have long careers who we are aware of. But on top of that, we also have, quickly running through the Widows, we also have Elizabeth Debicki and Carrie Coon. Elizabeth Debicki is a strange actress in terms of my encounters, because from what I understood after seeing Tenet earlier this year, she was an actor whose career I had no awareness of. It's only that since I've looked into her filmography that I realised, oh wait, she was in The Great Gatsby, where she played Jordan, the Baz Luhrmann one. Or she was in the Macbeth adaptation with Michael Fassbender. She played a major character in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So this actress has been around a good few years, and really, I think she's very talented, personally, and I think she's going to be the kind of actress who will keep popping up and whose star will rise. Then Carrie Coon isn't an actress I know particularly well from anything. The only thing that I recognised was Proxima Midnight from Infinity War. But again, I think that's an actress who we're going to see. And then the other two who really stood out to me were Brian Tyree Henry, who I know as Paperboy from Atlanta, who is a lead character in Atlanta, and again an actor who's really quite versatile, and also Cynthia Erivo, who plays a major part in the plot, and again an actress who has only really just started her career, but has sort of hit the ground running with things like Bad Times at the El Royale and Harriet, where she plays Harriet Tubman. And again, it's just a really, it is what you might call the classic all-star cast in the same manner as a heist film like the Ocean's franchise. I did not enjoy Ocean's 8 at all. Like, it is a hard sit. I really like heist films. I like the mechanics of them. I like sort of, it's like the murder mystery principle, but, where you're seeing the pieces laid out and then seeing them come together. And so when Ocean's 8, I watched that film, it was just not a good experience. And I've been thinking about that since watching this and comparing and contrasting them, because Ocean's 8 in itself is acceptable, but it's just something is missing in it. And staking my flag in the ground, I am absolutely going to push back against any of the sort of manonist, misogynistic sort of principles of, if you take a franchise and just, switch the genders, and it's just going to be a rubbish franchise. I absolutely am against that kind of thinking. They were a good cast and there are good performances. It's just something wasn't right in the source. And the difference, I think, with Widows and Ocean's 8, where Widows succeeds and does have a powerful female-led cast of diverse actresses, where, Ocean's 8 really just doesn't seem to sort of have, seems to have the same ingredients but not succeed in the same way, is that Widows really understands the context of the time that we are living in, socially and politically. I was thinking after watching this, and I was trying to sort of piece together why these two films are there was so much disparance between these two films, and why is Ocean's 11 received really well, but Ocean's 8 is not, and then Widows is. And it makes me think of Lindsay Ellis, the media analyst YouTuber, did a very good essay on the comparison of Independence Day with War of the Worlds, and why people love Independence Day and think it, really hold it up as this great piece of 90s American sort of, I don't want to say jingoism, but that kind of patriotic, powerful storytelling. And War of the Worlds is a dour, hard sit that, to be honest, I watched once and wouldn't really want to watch again. There are some good scenes in it, but it's not a great sit. And she makes the case that the point is that it's the pre and post 9/11 attitudes, and that if Independence Day had been made post 9/11, that sense of jingoism, that sense of pro-American, their attitude to foreign policy, their attitude to sort of invasion would be wildly different and wouldn't work pre 9/11. As I wouldn't work post 9/11. But I was thinking about why the difference between Widows and Ocean's 8, and again, whereas Lindsay Ellis makes these incredibly well-researched, well-written, thought-out pieces, I am somewhat coming out with this on the fly. So think of this as more a hypothesis statement that may or may not be easily dismissed. But I wonder whether there is something very similar, especially when it comes to sort of heist films, about the pre-post financial crash. That is to say that people's attitude to wealth and money and the difference between the rich and the poor and the attitudes therein have changed since over the last decade or two. And maybe Ocean's 11 wouldn't have worked if it had been made a few years ago, because Ocean's 8 has this real sense of frivolity to it. Fun, a good cast of characters who are, sort of doing this fun heist. But there are stakes, but they're very limited and they're very character-centric. And again, it's very much about the fun and the piecing together of it and seeing this team of actresses all working together. But there's no depth, no real commentary. It doesn't say anything. Whereas Widows has a lot to say. Widows discusses issues that are relevant both in 2018 and irrelevant now, about race and poverty and people whose situation changes because of a death of a partner, or their businesses fall through, or explores issues of spousal abuse. It explores issues of the death of a character because of police brutality. And these are weaved in so well and are saying such important things while still being, a heist film. And so I wonder if maybe there is something in that perhaps, I was thinking about Inside Man, which I saw a few days ago in a previous video. And again, Inside Man probably doesn't have the depth of Widows, but again, it has something to say and it feels like it's making comments. Whereas Ocean's 8 is not. And I think that is where the major difference is. I mean, not to mention the fact that Viola Davis is a powerful actress, very powerful, and carries this film. And there's a strange blink and you'll miss it sort of appearances from Liam Neeson, who it took me a few of his appearances before I went, oh, Liam Neeson. But I don't think it's the performances carry it, but I think the text is the key. And so I think that's really where sort of the secret lies in it. Again, I would be happy to be disproven, or to look deeper into it, and maybe in further films that I watch, I'm sure I'll have commentary like that, but it felt relevant, and I think Widows as a film feels relevant. So, like I say, it was a meaty watch. It gave me a lot to think about. Hopefully I was able to articulate some of what I was thinking of. But again, thank you for joining me, and I will see you again tomorrow.